Ladies and gentlemen, we have got a spectacular briefing in store for you. First of all, I'd like to thank Abun from womb. We were all created from a birth image. Boom. Big bang, star seeds, earth, now. So, we're in the now. We're in the I am moment by moment of love. Now, this presentation is going to integrate a lot of stuff because we're going to talk about if you're ascending and you're paying attention to the Galactic Federation, whether or not you astral travel, certainly you must know that there's a being out there of Marvel Comics, Star Wars lore called ASHTAR, who's making it happen for this solar system. He's been on the ride as a part of the vibe in this solar system. So, to get oriented on the Bible, when Yeshua went as far north as he could in his ministry, he was at Mount Hebron, which is the place where angels fell. Angels are extraterrestrial. In this case, we're referring to Anunnaki that would be embodied in the two beings that were present with him during the event known as the Transfiguration. Okay, he had his rock with him, Peter. Stay with me here. And the two tents that were, or the two other beings that were present were Moses and Elijah. So there's a little bit of interdimensional things happening. And of course, Peter says, I believe James was there too. Should we build some tents? And he said no. And in that period, he told Peter that he was a rock. He was going to build his church with him. So ASHTAR is now back because we're in this window. So Marvel Comics is meeting the Old Testament. And ASHTAR is about to tell us about the New Jerusalem. So to super quickly get oriented on Elijah, here are the analogies of Elijah in the period of time. Moses did his thing. Moses is Moses. I am on Elijah now. So Elijah's opposition of the day were Ahab and Jezebel. Jezebel was murdering prophets. Ahab was some kind of leader, like, Captain Ahab, let's say. And Elijah was the counterpart that was almost right. He's sort of like a version of Trump. He's trying to do it right. He's doing his other stuff of Mosaic-esque, sort of better, but more or less the same thing. Killing animals, having sacrifices, meeting women, getting guidance. It's the ride of Elijah. And so he went to Mount Hebron, and Moses went to Sinai. And which is which, and they're on either side of the Sinai Peninsula, but you're dealing in this proximity. So, because of all that, and because of this week now, we're in the week where New Jerusalem is. So I'm going to move to this channeling from ASHTAR, okay? All right. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is jump through without any noise, I hope. I'm just going to skip forward and give you a gist of what's going on. So this was 9 months ago, and you see the title. ASHTAR, we will appear New Jerusalem Mothership. So I want to keep this as brief as I can. And so it introduces, well, Gaia is named out. They've been watching from space. He is running the Galactic Federation, and recognized that this being was a part of the apprehension show for Akura at the midway point of the tribulation, with Trump um, getting them really apprehensive about a potential future. And I would just like to offer some of this as being even more disguised. So, as this is going along, it's an introduction to the fact that there are these ships that are going to be appearing, and it's all about Jerusalem, and the dimensions of the ship are like incredibly big, and it's the new Jerusalem that we've been promised, and there are biblical quotes here, and it's all about Yeshua coming, and it'll come to pass, and it's got biblical quotes and all the elements of kind of this the real things that are happening now. Look, the quarters of Lord Sananda, that that's predecessory high self to Christ, and now he's got himself there in the ASHTAR command, and it's a pearly white space. Look, 2,000 miles long and 2,000 miles wide. So let me just play this for a minute.
Is a city of purely white space. It's 2,000 miles long and 2,000 miles wide.
All right, get with it.
First, bottom. The entry and exit portal for trafficking vessels.
All right, 1 second. Okay, so I'm continuing. I'm speeding up the audio, and I skipped through. There's a long description of this big ass ship that's got all this stuff on it, and this is getting to number 11 element of the ship, and so.
And beautiful spacious dining and living areas. 11th, ASHTAR Command Headquarters and Rotunda Great Meeting Hall.
So this is all going to be available, like above Jerusalem.
For any necessary group meetings. The Command Communication Center is located here. 12th, Officers Observation Deck and Pilot Control Center, which can be visited by appointment. How our ground support system works. Beloved herds, there are millions of ships operating in your solar system at all times, and many of them belong to the ASHTAR Command. Some are stationed high above your planet, and are more or less stationary for long periods of
Allegedly,
time,
this was breached.
following the Earth in its monitoring systems. Others move, fulfilling their various functions. We have small ships doing surveying activities, and we have larger ships with an extended range that are capable of operating in space and that visit planets in other solar systems.
It's all fifth density
Each base
awareness.
or ground unit has at all times its personal ship hovering within its vortex for immediate personal retransmission of messages to or from that unit. This station or platform never changes, although the people involved may be temporarily remote for rest and relaxation to return later. All of our signals, beams, and contacts are relayed to our messengers via these individual contact platforms. In the atmosphere above a base unit, there is an invisible identification beam that projects incredibly above it for identification purposes. This beam projection identifies the particular command that sponsors the base unit. Those of you who serve in your seats, rest assured that everyone who participates in this program knows you are there. The true interplanetary ship, the vessels of our forces, will appear to your optics with a manifestation of colored lights, usually green, red, and white. Sometimes they appear constantly in red and green. Other times, they appear to be flashing. Questions have been asked why there are no more spacecraft seen in the skies. We would like to respond by saying they are there. It's not necessary for them to be seen in such large numbers at this time to implement their work. The time will soon come when great fleets of them, vast armadas, will be seen in the skies, and this will tell you who are so close to our hearts that another phase of our work has begun. At the moment, we hope that conditions are favorable for receiving those who are internally prepared for shorter or longer trips. We know you all look forward to it. We are always hesitant to cause disappointment in any heart. Yet it must be said that in some cases the physical body could not fly like that. Beloved ones, it must be a body in perfect physical health, in a certain kind of spiritual reconciliation, in a certain degree of soul evolution, and in a state of alertness and mental readiness. Prepare the Earth's energy grid for first contact. From the book, Lord ASHTAR and the Galactic Federation, page 14. Lord ASHTAR and Lord Sananda Jesus are the ones who decide on Earth's ascension, and when it's appropriate to withdraw the starships from the fleets in Earth's orbit. When this happens, ASHTAR will be in charge of creating a force field on Earth through the Earth grid, connected through the pyramids, ziggurats, and portals of Earth that will take.
So those are all the please understand there are satanic ley lines as well. The Ziggurat Temple is out in and that's where Enki is from. So all the analogies here are being drawn toward the Anunnaki side of spirituality. And here they're about to get into Mount Hebron.
Us to the 0 point. Within this energy,
This is
a much
important.
more advanced technology is possible. To illustrate the Earth grid, we have the example of Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon is where Jesus' transfiguration took place. Mount Hermon is located in the Golan Heights area and was conquered.
Golan Heights was renamed to Trump Heights during the tribulation when Pompeo went over on a Purim, and it was dedicated to Trump with Netanyahu. And so, of course, they're talking about the history of the Golan and its role in the Six-Day War, which is where some occupational dominance of Israel in Jerusalem occurred as well. So here, Mount Hermon is being referred to as a stargate, which is kind of like a vortex, so that when, I guess, Nibiru is close, or the opportunity to descend is physically capable, that's where those things would occur. So Mount Hebron is near Syria.
By Israel in the Six-Day War in 1967. Mount Hermon is a stargate. Jesus took his disciples,
Peter's a rock.
James and John with him, to
James
the top of
neutral.
the mountain. The tree then fell asleep. A spaceship appears, and Jesus meets his galactic travelers, Elijah and Moses.
Anunnaki.
They leave the ship for the mountain, and Jesus appears in his glowy, or etheric body, to his disciples. Mount Hermon is located on Earth's 33rd latitude line. If you follow the 33rd parallel to the other side of the Earth, you will also find the 33rd parallel, Roswell, New Mexico, United States. This is the site
That's
of the
where
famous
the
UFO
shot down
that
the
resulted in the recovery of live
Grays
extraterrestrials.
as the
Earth
technology
grid is an
permitted.
electromagnetic and crystalline pathway for etheric ships. Many are wondering what exactly will happen when we actually make first contact. When the divine and right moment occurs, the amount of higher consciousness energy that the local spiritual hierarchy has brought in will be far greater than you have hitherto experienced. Individuals surrounded by a lot of negative energy will likely experience 5 to 10 minutes of nausea because of these intense energies. It is almost like someone puts a storm of high positive energies around Mother Earth. Many who are more attentive will see these new energies as extremely bright light. Everyone will feel this as a calming energy. It will feel like the ultimate form of ecstasy. These wondrous energies must be accompanied by extremely
So this was 9 months ago, and we're in an energy window now.
Hierarchy. This heavenly music will be a sign to all that a truly divine intervention in the affairs of Earth humanity is about to take place.
See, this is consciousness
Your
being
local spiritual
displayed that
hierarchy
we're going to be
will
able
also
to start
form
seeing.
some easy to detect angel-like clouds in the sky. These heavenly omens will be the sign that something miraculous is about to happen. Dear hearts, dear hearts, all of you in your world are now in position within your spiritual growth to solve or put the
See, this is the heart and soul of blue beam, artificial projection in the sky, their ability to distract what's coming, with all things related to esoteric Trump and the peace accord that will kind of herd attention there, and then FEMA will potentially do herding, but this is more oriented on specifically Jerusalem
Rest of the puzzle pieces together.
and Second Coming related energy.
And watch this puzzle. You can now, with your great awareness, without my giving you the hint to understand, why we are informing you right now about our great mothership, the New Jerusalem. Dear hearts, you got it. Yes, dear ones.
We are.
You are at the finish line.
True.
Running on the water, coming through the mist with your arms outstretched to join the New Jerusalem, and know that you are loved beyond measure, deeply, unconditionally.
Okay, so they get to the good part at the end here in talking about the DNA element of our awakening. But much of the content of this video is designed to give improper glory to Moses and Elijah, both of whom were meat eaters and sacrificers of animals. So go there and say, our Creator doesn't like that, and Yeshua doesn't like that, and that's why he went to Mount Hebron to tell Peter, look, you're going to take this down to Necropolis, because that's my idea of a box, of a church. So you're the rock, Peter. You're that dense. And of course, Petra is what it is, and that human went to Rome as the first pope, and the rest is history. And he was there at the Transfiguration. So that's where all that got carried, and I'm just letting you know that most of this was true as it was expressed, but as you watch Jerusalem go down, they're going to pull out all the stops. And what he said was, when they say I'm over here, don't look there. So this whole issue about moving in a fighting direction from east of the Jordan, from Zion and blah, 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 beware. You know, this is Trump waving his red-hatted sword of Torres going, okay, here we go. And you just need to know that Ahab could have been Clinton, Jezebel could have been Hillary, and whoever, Elijah, is damn close to Trump. So go there. And I said it, and we're in it. So enjoy your week, because I'm going to enjoy mine. As we should. We have an entitlement. It's better than a movie. It's reality. So watch it and pay attention to the right things. And don't be bamboozled by what they come at you with. This week is going to be incredible. So if you watch television, anything, you better have that sword out and go, wah, yeah, shoo. Because then you can be entertained. We're entitled to laugh at all this and rise above it. So have a great one.